Hi there, and a warm welcome to this holistic yoga video where we're going to look at some really simple but effective yoga techniques to help to reduce anxiety. I use these myself all the time because who isn't anxious these days? There's so much going on, so much information to process, so much uncertainty. Life these days is a bit of a roller coaster, and yeah, it's just wonderful that we've got yoga to help us deal with these ups and downs that we have to cope with these days in our lives. So let's get started. The most effective way of working with anxiety is to really work with your breath. So it's a very important part of this practice is to focus on your breathing, and one of the best things you can do to help reduce anxiety is to lengthen your exhalation. So everyone's got a different breath pattern, different sized lungs, different experiences with their breathing, so I'm not actually going to do the counting for you, but it's roughly a count of 3 to inhale and a count of 6 to exhale, but you can change that up. You can make it inhale for 4, exhale for 8, inhale for 5, exhale for 10. You can even do inhale for 2 and exhale for 4, but I would suggest doing the 3, 6 because you can just count faster if you find it uncomfortable. Yeah. So see if you can count as slowly as you can, but don't compromise your exhale. So you don't want to be like really trying to force out the exhale and not have enough breath to exhale at the end of those last few counts. You want to make it comfortable. Yeah, you don't want to get stressed out about your own breath because this is about undoing that stress, not adding more. So you inhale for 3 and exhale for 6. Now you'll notice I'm exhaling through my mouth and inhaling through my nose, and that's a really good way to start this. It makes it easier to lengthen your exhale, but it's a certain type of exhale. I call it misting up the sunglasses breath. So it's like when you sort of mist up your sunglasses using your breath. There's a slight softening in the back of your throat as you do that. So just have a little practice. And it should be really soft, so not like a big sound. It's very soft and subtle. And the softer you can do it, the more effective it's going to be. I'm making it a little bit louder than I might do it myself, just so you can hear me and get an idea. So soft and subtle is the way. So inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. So when you inhale through your nose, you want to feel that the breath goes into your belly. And then exhaling. So continue like this a little bit in your own breath, in your own time. Just continue breathing like this for maybe 2 or 3 more breaths. Okay, and you can continue like this if you wish, or we can add a little yoga posture in, which kind of increases the benefits. So if you make your way, you don't have to roll out your yoga mat. You can just do this on the floor, on a carpet. You could even do this on your bed, I think. So you're coming into child pose if it's a pretty firm bed. So I like to have a little padding underneath my knees. I'm also aware that some of you might have back condition. So if you have any prolapse discs or if you have any sciatica, you want to keep your hips above the knees and let your head come down onto the ground that way, and in that way you'll be keeping space for your spine. Don't arch too much and don't round too much. See if you can keep your spine nice and long. So if it's comfortable for your knees and your ankles, then you can drop back into a regular child pose. I'd suggest taking your knees wider and your feet together. You could also stack your fists up and rest your head on your fists. Having that pressure on your forehead can be really, really helpful for anxiety. There's a mama point there, an acupuncture point there that's really lovely for calming an overactive mind. So we're going to do the same breath with that pressure on that place above and between your eyebrows, shoulders away from the ears. You're inhaling into your, let's say into your whole rib cage, into your lungs. And then exhale with that open mouth. And that extended exhalation. Continue like this, inhaling through your nose. And exhaling through your mouth. Now if your knees get a little bit uncomfy or your ankles feel a little bit put upon, you can put a rolled up blanket at the front of your ankles or behind your knees. Just make sure you feel comfy. It should feel really delicious being in this posture. And really feeling that you're inhaling up from the ground, feeling all those points of contact between your shins and your forearms and the floor. This feeling of drawing the breath up from the floor and then exhaling. A feeling of the breath sinking down into the floor. So you're drawing up that earth energy, that nourishing, revitalizing energy from the earth as you inhale. And you're letting go of tension, letting go of stress, letting go of anxiety, unnecessary thoughts with the exhale. Really feel your connection to the earth here, the connection to the ground below you. Feel how you can draw energy up from the earth into your lungs. And you can exhale and release energy down into the earth. That excess energy, that anxious energy, that kind of overactivity of your mind, let that go. Great work. So you can stay here longer, of course you can. And the next one we're going to do is going to help with our diaphragm. The diaphragm is really important. It's important that we can breathe into our belly in order to deal with stress. Because when we do that belly breathing, a bit like a baby breathing when they're relaxing, when we do that kind of belly breathing, then it sends a signal to our nervous system that all is well, we can relax, everything is chilled, and it sort of sets us on this path of relaxation and being able to rest and digest and repair ourselves. It puts us into that particular part of our nervous system where we can really relax. So, to encourage the diaphragm to move in this way, I like to have a pillow under me. You might just want to lie on the floor. If you don't have any back pain, then you can just lie on the floor. But it can be nice, even if you don't have back pain, to have a pillow underneath you. And then I've got my hands kind of resting in this sort of circle shape. And then I pop that circle shape right up onto the top of my forehead. Shoulders are away from the ears. There are other ways. You can have your forehead on the floor and your hands like this if that feels more comfortable to you. So choose what feels best for you. You could even have a block under your head maybe. And then starting to inhale and feel how your belly moves into the floor. And then your belly moves away from the floor as you exhale. So same breath if you can. So inhaling for 3, exhaling for 6. This is called crocodile breathing. Oh, by the way, my toes are pointed towards each other and my heels are kind of flopped out to the sides. And if you get cramp in this position, you can tuck your toes or put a rolled up blanket underneath the front of your ankles. So you can exhale with mouth closed or open, whatever feels nicest for you. And you can also imagine that you're inhaling, feeling the belly pressing into the ground. And then exhaling, letting go of any tension. Down into the ground, down into the floor. You can have this feeling of sort of melting, spreading and widening, anchoring deeper into the earth. And then inhale, the belly moves, press the belly. And then exhaling, melting and releasing. So you can spend quite a while in this crocodile breath. It's really up to you how long you want to spend here, how much time you've got. And particularly if you find it hard to engage the diaphragm muscle, if you find it hard to press the belly down into the ground, then definitely spend more time here because this will really affect your resistance to stress, your resilience and your ability to come out of stress. It'll be greatly improved by doing this breath if you find the diaphragmatic breathing hard. And even if you find it easy to breathe into your belly, it can actually be really good for people who find it easy because it sort of strengthens this muscle. And it can strengthen the abdominal muscles as well as you exhale. But don't think about that too much, but just know that it's happening. Great, and then bring your hands either side of your head and spread the fingers and thumbs, tuck your toes under, draw your shoulders away from your ears and your belly towards your spine and push up onto your knees. And we're going to finish with a dog pose just because it kind of grounds us and gives us a lot of connection to the earth and energy through our spine. So start by just rocking a little bit back into child and coming a little bit forwards into a kind of a modified plank. You might take your hands a little bit further forwards to really lengthen through the waist. And then exhale and press the ground away using your hands. And then inhale, going back. And exhale, coming forwards. Good, and then tuck the toes under. Bring your hands a little bit closer in. And then lift your tailbone and come up into dog. Spreading your fingers, pressing down through the pads beneath your index finger, little fingers and thumbs. Feeling the inner balls of your feet, the outer balls of your feet. Feel energy can flow up your legs and up your arms towards the apex of your dog pose, towards your tailbone. And they can also flow down your legs into your feet and down your arms into your hands. Feel the spine is lengthening. Great, and then coming down onto your hands and knees. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and I hope you feel better now than when you started. Wishing you a great rest of your day. Namaste.